GSAT-7R, LVM3-M5. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, successfully launched an LVM-3 rocket with the M5 mission from Second Launch Pad, SLP, at the Satish Dhawan Space Centre, SDSC, in Bengaluru, Karnataka, India. This launch flew GSAT-7R satellite, also known as CMS-03, to Geostationary Transfer Orbit, GTO. The flight took place on Sunday, November 2nd, at 11 hours and 56 minutes Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, or at 16 hours and 56 minutes Indian Standard Time, IST.
GSAT-7R, CMS-03. GSAT-7R, also known as CMS-03, is an Indian military communications satellite for the Indian Navy to replace GSAT-7. The satellite is projected to cost 1,589 Indian rupees crores, $225.5 million US. It is expected to be launched in December 2024 on a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, Mark II. However, as of August 2025, the delivery timeline slipped by a year and was launched in
November 2nd,
2025 on board ISRO's launch vehicle Mark III, LVM3. GSAT-7R satellite had a lift-off mass of 4,410 kilograms, 9,720 pounds. Launch vehicle Mark III, LVM3. The launch vehicle Mark III or LVM3, previously referred as the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III or GSLV-MK3, is a three-stage medium-lift launch vehicle developed by ISRO. Primarily designed to launch communication satellites into geostationary orbit, it is also due to launch crewed missions under the Indian Human Space Flight Program. LVM3 has a higher payload capacity than its predecessor, GSLV. The LVM3 has launched Crew Module Atmospheric Re-entry Experiment, CARE, India's Space Capsule Recovery Experiment Module, Chandrayaan-2 and Chandrayaan-3, India's second and third lunar missions, and will be used to carry Gaganyaan, the first crewed mission under Indian Human Space Flight Program. In March 2022, UK-based global communication satellite provider OneWeb entered into an agreement with ISRO to launch OneWeb satellites aboard the LVM3 along with the PSLV, due to the launch services from Roscosmos being cut off, caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The first launch took place on October 22, 2022, injecting 36 satellites into low Earth orbit. Second Launch Pad, SLP. Second Launch Pad, SLP, is a launch site at Satish Dhawan Space Centre, SDSC, formerly Sriharikota Range, Shar, located in Sriharikota, Tirupati district, Andhra Pradesh. The second launch pad, SLP, was designed, supplied, erected and commissioned by Makan Limited, a Government of Indian enterprise, located at Ranchi, Jharkhand, India, during the period March 1999 to December 2003. It cost about 400 Indian rupees crore, equivalent to 14 billion Indian rupees or $160 million in 2023, at that time. It serves as a launch pad for Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, GSLV, and Launch Vehicle Mark III, LVM3, as well as a standby for Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks following a launch to refurbish the launch pad to support another launch. The second launch pad with associated facilities was built in 2005 and became operational on May 5 with the launching of PSLV C6. Makan subcontractors for this project including Inox India, HEC, Tata Growth, Godrej Boyce, Simplex, Nagarjuna Construction, Steelage, etc. The other launch pad being the first launch pad, FLP. It is used by PSLV, GSLV, LVM3 and is intended for India's first crewed space mission. The first launch from the pad occurred on May 5, 2005, and was of a Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle carrying the Cartosat-1 and Hindu Amateur Satellite, HAMSAT, satellites. India's first moon mission, Chandrayaan-1 was launched from this launch pad on October 22, 2008. Its follow-up missions were also launched from this launch pad, where Chandrayaan-2 was launched on July 22, 2019 and Chandrayaan-3 was launched on July 14, 2023. In November 2019, ISRO released tenders for augmentation of the SLP for the Gaganyaan project. Systems such as a crew ingress and egress system, access platform, recovery setup for emergencies during the flight's ascent phase, module preparation facility for assembly and testing along with a helipad are built at a cost of about 2,000 Indian rupees crore. All the facilities will be connected an upcoming Gaganyaan control facility, which will monitor and communicate with the astronauts during the space flight. Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, is India's national space agency, headquartered in Bengaluru, Karnataka. It serves as the principal research and development arm of the Department of Space, DOS, overseen by the Prime Minister of India, with the chairman of ISRO also serving as the chief executive of the DOS. It is primarily responsible for space-based operations, space exploration, international space cooperation and the development of related technologies. The agency maintains a constellation of imaging, communications and remote sensing satellites. It operates the GPS-aided Geo-Augmented Navigation, GAGAN, and Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, IRNS. It has sent 3 missions to the Moon and 1 mission to Mars.